Hi there, I'm Stephanie Wheeler. I'm one of the counselors here at Buckhorn High School, and I'm going to talk to you today about the recommendations for 9th grade. Your students should have received a student profile sheet that has their recommendations on it. At the bottom of the sheet, it's got their grades from first semester, and on the right-hand bottom of the sheet, it has their Aspire test scores. Based on your students' grades and their Aspire test scores, that was how recommendations were made to place your students in the appropriate skill level class to start high school off successfully. One of the things that you'll notice if you have a student that took algebra in 8th grade is that they have the opportunity to retake algebra or to go on and take geometry. Please be aware that at the end of the school year you'll receive paperwork where you have to either accept or expunge the credit from your student's transcript. Whatever grade that they have received in algebra in 8th grade is what will start on their high school transcript. So please keep that in mind when making your decision. What we do is we look to see at the classes that your student was in, see how they did, and see how they did on the standardized test, which is the Aspire. If you look at the Aspire test scores in the lower right-hand corner, you can see that there are benchmark scores. Underneath the benchmark scores, you can see how your student did on the test. Please take a look to see what the benchmark score is. That is what is a score that your student would have to achieve to be considered proficient in the subject. So we expect students to hit benchmark. If your student is close, at, or above, that lets you know how your student is doing on standardized testing. So we take that score combined with their grades, and that's how we place them in their classes. For math, for students that are struggling, we have Algebra A and B. What that is that the students will meet every day in the fall and every day in the spring and will receive 2 credits their freshman year. Algebra 1 students are performing at grade level, and their classes will meet every other day all year long, and they'll receive 1 credit. For students that are taking pre-AP algebra or pre-AP geometry, those students that have already had algebra in 8th grade, those classes meet every other day all year long. English, you can see that we have 3 levels of English. Again, you can look at their Aspire scores and their grades and see, does your student need a little bit of extra help in English? And we have the English Intervention Support class. Are they grade level and they benchmark in English? Or are they above benchmark and doing well and eligible for the pre-AP? In science, we have biology and pre-AP biology. For social studies, it's also world history and pre-AP world history. With the pre-AP world history, it's paired up with the Founding Fathers class. As your student goes through Buckhorn High School, they'll have the opportunity to take AP or advanced placement classes where they have the opportunity to test and earn college credit. That is why we pair the Founding Fathers class up with the pre-AP World History to better prepare students for AP history classes later on. A student should select 1 class under the core classes for each of the subject areas. Core courses are your math, your English, your science, and your social studies. If there are asterisks behind the class that your student has been recommended for, on the right-hand side, you can see what the supplementary class is that goes with it. Under electives on the right-hand side of the sheet, you can see that physical education is your first area. Life PE is a requirement to graduate. However, marching band and JROTC can also fulfill this requirement, as well as athletic sports if your child plays on a team here at Buckhorn. If your child participates in JROTC, an athletic team, or are in marching band, you can see that there is a follow-up course that they'll have to make further down under the electives column. You'll select 1 choice from physical education. You'll move down into fine arts, where you will select a fine art, or if your student needs a little bit more help in English, they'll have their English intervention class. When you move to choice 3 under electives, you can see that that's where the Founding Fathers pairs up with the pre-AP World History, or if you have athletics or you needed a little bit more help with math, that's where that follow-on math class is. Finally, career preparedness. Career preparedness is a requirement to graduate. It does not count toward one of the 3 classes total that they'll need under career tech, fine arts, or foreign language. Career prep is a standalone. So as you can see, your student freshman year is knocking out 2 of the additional requirements for graduation with the life PE and the career prep. We also make an effort to try and get them the fine art class. Fine art class placement is on an as a space available basis. It's based on space availability in the fine art classes. So please be aware that your student may not receive the fine art that they registered for. If you have questions or concerns, please feel free to contact the counselor at the middle school or one of the counselors here at the high school, and we'll be happy to help you and explain any questions that you have. We have tried to streamline this process so that it is as easy and convenient for families as possible. The 2 choices that you'll really be making for your child's freshman year are under the right-hand electives column for their physical education class and their fine arts selection, and then number 3, their electives. Some of those choices may already be completed for you based on the needs of your student. Again, we're excited to have you here at Buckhorn, and we look forward to helping you as you continue your educational journey. Thank you.